In the matter of bad Chad can't paint, well, the results are in. That's a lie. That's a lie. Truth is in. Alrighty, seen where we got the hood done. Looks fantastic. Now we're on to the trunk lid. Now I'm going to show you how good I am. Maybe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to guide coat it. I'm going to do the 220, and then I'm going to do the 400, and then I'm going to put the rivets in, and we'll try to get this panel or this trunk lid or tire cover ready to paint. I have the inner fenders all ready to paint. They're all hung, ready to rock and roll. We'll see how far we get with that today. But right now I'm going to show you how I'm going to get it done. How I'm going to get it done in the present moment. Got a bad spot right there. We primed it outside. We probably got a fly or something like that. I'm just hoping that that came to the surface and we can get him off. That's what I'm hoping. Keep the camera moving. I'm kind of fast, eh, baby? Jolene's helped me this morning, drilling holes and stuff like that. She had her steel toe flops on. She was doing good though. God love her. Just gonna get that in there. And I must give credit to Colton. He did an awesome job blocking out the hood, the doors, and the running and the fender skirt so far. But it's Daddy's turn this time. So this time I'm going to do the trunk lid, and then we're going to go from there and see what goes on. But he did a good job, did a fantastic job. He did a fantastic job. Alrighty, so we're in primer. I don't know how many coats of primer we put on that. I am not going to take the time to bust out the block and do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bust out the DA, and I'm going to knock it out real quick. And the reason being I'm going to knock it out real quick, I have confidence in what we done before of doing the bodywork. Also, I feel like the guide coat is going to let me know. If it's not able to be painted, the guide coat will let me know because it will show the edge, or we'll get down into body fill or something like that. It will show me, and all I have to do is pay attention. If I go through the primer, that means I do not like it that much. If I'm able to sand it, where'd them go? I already put them out there, did I? Boop, boop, beep, beep, beep. See them? Where's my 220 and my 400 at? There it is right there. So I'm going to go 220 first, and then I'm going to go 400. I'm going to do it really quick and show you how I get it done. Also, with this panel being like this, that helps. It's not like this, straight. When you come to look at it, you'd have to come down, back up, down, back up. And if you start doing that at a car show and you think that you're trying to find something, I would just walk around it and look at it and appreciate it, to be honest with you. So we're at the 220. Let's do it. Let's do it. And you'll get a bad spot right there if there's a fly in it. Also, I'm going to add, we can do these ones no problem with the clamp thing. We can do them no problem whatsoever. These ones down here are the issue. We cannot do that because it hasn't got a big enough jaw, so we're going to have to come up with something. I might get Jolene to help me, and I might not. Who knows? You're going to have to stay and wait and see. One thing I don't like about the DA, what I'm doing right now at the present moment, it's too fast. It's too fast. Let's turn it down some. Let's turn it down some. I'm going to hold the DA just as if I was doing a block. I'm going to move it around, I'm going to hold it flat, and I'm going to crisscross it, and I'm going to do all the stuff that I would do with the block. You can see that the primer seems like a lot of primer because it looks orange peely. That's great. That's great. What we want is things smooth, no guide coat. No filler. good so far. Looking real good. Come look down in here for a second. Everything looks fantastic going around that edge. Everything looks fantastic. But we're getting down in there and have to be careful. And you can see the guide coat all on there. We still got a little bit of a line there. We're going to sand that by hand. We're not going to try to dig that DA in there. No, one chance. We're going to sand it by hand. But everything else that I'm feeling right now is absolutely perfect. Let's go over here. Let's get that. There's that pesky fly. I'm saying that you start it on the car and you stop it on the car. The DA. Not tipping the DA. Hold it flat. Holding it flat. That little spot right there, I have to work that whole area to work that. And I'm going to change my piece of paper because I want a nice new piece of sharp paper. If I'm going to try to work that out, I would never want to do it with a dull piece of paper. I want a sharp piece of paper, and I want to go all the way around that, all the way around the world on that little imprint of primer problem there to get that. We can never just dig. We can't just dig that. We have to sand it all the way around. If we want to do it right. So I can dig at it and get it out, you sure can. I can do it really fast if you want me to. But it ain't gonna make you happy. It ain't gonna make me happy. Almost there. Almost got it. New piece of paper helped tremendously. Gotta take it all off, can't just take a little bit. Gotta take it all off, the whole thing. Whoa, we almost got it, oh my. Yeah, baby. I'm happy with that. That's 220. We're good with that. I'm gonna stop with that. We got some lines in there. That's fine. That's fine. We're going to leave that for now. That's good. Excellent. Perfect. There's nothing wrong with that panel whatsoever. That's a perfect panel. Don't get me wrong. If I was to ask Colton to do this panel, the trunk lid, I would have asked him to do it the exact same way he done the car, by hand, with a little block, sanding faithfully, to make sure that everything get done exactly right. Where I feel like I've done this many times, and I do not have to do that. I feel like I'm okay with doing this because I know that I'm okay doing this. If I thought Colton was good with a DA, I would let him DA a lot of it, but that didn't happen. He blocked it. Now I'm DAing it because I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get this stuff done, and I'm doing it quickly, and I am not disturbing anything. As I'm going over this, you can see how fast I'm moving the DA. I'm not stopping in one spot, causing myself a hole. I'm not doing anything other than using it as I would a square block. Billy, was it Billy Bob? Billy Bob has a Billy stick, and Bad Chad has a DA. And it's not a drug addiction, it's a DA dual action sander. Hold it flat. Now, as I block that out, there's no guide coat there. And think about this. If I hold this surface flat, think about that surface and think about your block, how big it is, how small it is, and all that sort of stuff. And who's covering the more area? Me, the DA, or the sanding block? Jolene's saying, let me out. Let me out. Whew! All right, so I'm going to sand that by hand. I'm going to sand that by hand. With the 220, I'm going to use a piece of the paper that I've used on the DA. Now I'm going to use it by hand because I'm going to use different areas of it. I don't like that chain rattle on things, but it is what it is. So we're just going to get in there and dig that out. All we have to, I don't say dig it out, but sand it out. I'm going to do this. Take this edge, fold it in there without my hand, no pressure. Just do it that way. Let the sandpaper, I'm going to let my sandpaper dig in there and let the sandpaper do it. That way there I'm not digging too much. I need that air going there. Air is a good thing with sandpaper and welding. Believe me, a little bit of air blows that dust away. Lets you sand a lot faster. So the air is just as valuable with the sanding process it is with the welding process. Keeps all the material out of the way. And if you don't believe me, all you have to do is try it. Gotta get all that guide coat out of there. After we get the guide coat out of there, then we can do the 400. Until we get the guide coat out of there, there's no sense going with the 400. Grab some air and try to sand your car. See how much faster it goes. I do not lie. Jolene would catch me. Wouldn't you, Jolene? Ah, you catch me. Now, basically, what I want to do is I got to get this sanded up here to make sure before I put the rivets in. But let's sand down the rest of the panel first. Let's do this. This one over here. Kind of doing it quickly. Don't need a whole lot of air. Just need to keep the dust or the sanding material from underneath the sandpaper. That's all I need. Let's try it this side. Sharp stuff. Ooh, baby, that looks good. And I have to be very careful because I don't want to cut a line in that. I want that to feather up like the hood. That feathers in really nice. This piece of metal that's welding on here, it feathers up really nice. I don't want to cut a line in there. I have to make it feel like it's part of the car. And if you're going to do that, when you're sanding it, you want to be careful. I'm trying to just get that guide coat out of there so I know the primer sand it. We'll smooth her up again with a 400 to make sure that we're ready to paint. I'm hoping that's good. you want me to blow your lungs out, sweetheart? I'll blow you out a little bit there, baby. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip it on the side, and I'm going to do a DA on the side so I can get it done quickly. I'm going to drop that to the ground. Ooh. Come watch on this side right here. See how orange peely the primer is? Could never have it like that and put a nice coat of paint on it. You know, you can put paint on it, yes you can. But it's going to be hard not to have a texture when you're painting on top of the texture. You're trying to basically give yourself the smoothest surface you can work with so you don't have to get yourself a texture. Alrighty. Let's go to the other side. Went well. That went well. Side coat helps everything. Just want to make everything smooth. So when I go to put the rivets in, it's over. I can never sand that. That was like the rivets in there like that. I could never sand it like that. Take you hours and hours and hours to sand that with the rivets in it. I think I've saved myself 2 weeks of work not riveting it before I primed it, getting ready to pan. Saved myself 2 weeks work. There'll be at least 2 weeks sanding around them rivets. And, you know, I saved myself a bunch of time. Thinking about it, that's all. Thought about it. Saving myself time. That's metal. Now, I am saying I'm close. I'm close. Let's sand it. Let's take a look at this for a second. Let's see if the guide coat's all. Take a look at the underneath of this thing. This was the trunk lid of the Volvo. It was. Or, I don't know, it was a trunk lid or whatever. It's part of it. What I started with. Be careful doing this. Be careful of that. We don't want that. Don't want that. That ruins things. Things have to be swiped. Believe me. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's okay. I don't believe some people. I just like to prove it, that's all. Alright, let's get down. See this here? See the guide coat in here? That has to be dealt with. You know, can you see it there? A little bit of black in there? The stuff has to be dealt with. It has to be dealt with a, you know, a firm hand, but yet a delicate hand. How's that? Let's do this. Sand it. Let's get some guide coat off. I figured out a way to hinge this thing very easily, which was nice, I thought. All right, let's go all the way around the edge. I don't know if I don't know what, with me doing this, when it comes time to paint the car, I got a big hole in the back where the wheel goes. I think I'm going to paint that hole in the back first. And the reason being is I don't want to spray inside that hole and have a bunch of dust and a bunch of paint to come out. I'd rather have that covered over and come right straight down the back than spray in that big hole. And what's going to happen is as soon as I spray in that hole, it's going to come back out this way, and it's not going to be the greatest thing to paint, to be honest with you. So somehow, some way, I feel like I'm going to paint that back trunk lid piece and paint it before I paint the car. All the edges on this thing have to be painted and sanded. This car has never been painted before because it's never been alive before. It's just coming alive now. But every piece of this car has to be sanded inside and outside, upside down. Everything has to be dealt with. We're going to have to tape out the outside to do the inside after we paint it. It's quite a process. Alrighty, now I'm going to blow that bad boy off. We're on to the 400 stage now. We're on to the 400 stage. I have to get it ready to paint before I put the rivets in. Or you know what I got to do? I got to go around everyone. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. I'm at 220 stage. I cannot paint that the way it is. Cannot do it. Have to get our guy coat going again. Yeah, it is what it is. And this is what I have to go through to get it done. Do it again. But it goes some quick the second time. First time's the hardest time. It was on smoother. Can you notice the guy coat going on smoother too, huh? Just went on lickety split. Nothing to it. No problemo. This is what it takes me to get ready. And I need to do every single piece of the car. If I'm not happy, I do it again. And basically, it won't be me being happy. It'd be Jolene. Jolene said, "Will you paint this again for me?" I said, "Well." Then I got her. "What are you gonna do for me?" And then I got her. Huh? What do you think? Or she'll say, "I'll get it painted somewhere else." That won't happen, well, baby. What? You want me to paint that somewhere else, would you? Huh? All right. You'll have to wait and see if I leave the trunk lid on the car or not, because in all honesty, I don't even know myself if I'm going to put the trunk lid on the car when I paint it, or if I'm just going to paint the trunk lid itself. I have the inner fenders in there right now. They're hanging up. Let's take a look. Inner fenders are hanging up. All sanded, 220, 400, ready to rock and roll. We'll paint every edge, back sides and front side, all in the paint job. But let's get the trunk lid going. Let's get trunk lid going. I thank everybody for coming back and watching. This is the stuff we have to do to get this Bugatti ready. This is what has to happen. I tried to avoid it as long as I could, but here I am. Man, that hood looks good. Huh? Murray was in. It's a lie. Bad Chad can paint. Ready to paint right there, that side. That piece right there, beautiful. Let's get this stuff going. what I like to do here is just take this paper, fold it in half, and I'm going to run the paper, sticking my finger in there. I'm going to do this, stick the paper in there. Instead of my finger, I'm going to stick the paper in there. I'm going to let the paper, try to get that out. I'm going to stick. It has to be gotten. Sure does. Don't want to dig that. Don't want to dig that. Don't want to dig that. When the benches are rocking, you know Chad's a sanding. Get that done. Get that. You just want to get scratched out of that. Make that smoother than a baby's bottom. Not my bottom, but or not Jolene's bottom, anyways. Not bad. No? Awesome. I don't want to say not bad with Jolene around because she said, then she goes, what do you mean by that? So that side is perfect. Let's do the other side. A lot of work to paint a car. A lot of work. And then if you want to build one, it's 10 times more work. And then all the memories you make, all the fun you have, can't replace it. All the memories I've had building this car, doing this, I can think about it. Just about me and Jolene sanding the frame, talking about it at nighttime, to, you know, what's been said about it, to all that stuff. It's all memories, all good stuff. You really know when you got it good when you take your DA and you rub over top like that and you haven't got an edge anywhere. And what I mean by an edge is filler coming onto the metal or something not feathered out nice. That's what I'm saying. When you just rub across like that, you don't see anything, that's when you're talking. That's when things are good. That's when things are good. The only thing you're going to see in that trunk lid is your reflection. The only thing you're going to see. That means Jolene smile. You know why? Because it's her trunk lid. Right, baby? Because it's her trunk lid. Yeah, we'll get this done. Get this better in here. Then we got a big job putting the rivets down in below. I think we're going to do some hammer and dolly work after I've just made it ready for paint. Let that sink in. Where I'm at. I've just made this thing ready to paint. 220, 400. Now I'm going to beat on it with a hammer and put some rivets in it. That don't seem right, does it? That seems like I'm losing the head. It could be. It doesn't seem right to get a car ready for paint and then hit it with a hammer. So that's basically what's going to happen. See that lip action? Mm-hmm. That's what I say after I paint it. Ooh, that looks good. Or Jolene's supposed to say that, one or the other. Yeah, nice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this by hand, scuff along the whole thing, just try to get anything, and if I made it look, I think smooth as a baby's bottom. Your bottom, Jolene, smooth your bottom. Smoother than your bottom. Well, I could be lying. Alright, that's good to go. Now, we got 400 down this side, that side, then we're into rivets. I've used electric DA for probably 30 years, And the reason I like the electric DA is because of the time it takes me to get it done. The power it has, there's no power disruption when the air compressor goes on. Sometimes you get the big 8-inch going, the air compressor going, down goes the power, nothing goes wrong with that. Once I get this bad boy going, 6-inch on the electric, there's nothing slowing it down other than your arm. If your arm's tired of holding it, you'll shut it off. But other than that, it'll work you right to the end of the day, and it'll do everything you want without having a air compressor. You can go and do body work outside, you can do it inside, you can go to a friend's house, you can go anywheres. And the reason I say that is because that's what I used to do. I bought these, and then I would go to people's houses and I would do body work using my electric DA. That went well on that side, so I'm going to do it again. Ooh, that's heavy. Nope, I got it. Nope, ain't got it. Good thing she's all metal. She hit the inside. Could put down the DA, I suppose. But didn't want to, I guess. Stubborn. All right. Let's check it out down here where I hit it. And just touched it, just metal, didn't hurt any. I'm gonna take that 400 off that. And do this. Get off that, just make sure there's no scratches. Finish sanding the guide coat. Also, with the one-step primer, I did watch last night's episode, and there was a lot of good comments on the situation, but on the rivets going in here, I shoved that drill in. As soon as I shoved that drill in, what has happened? I'm going to ask Jolene, what has happened when I shoved the drill in?
Make the hole bigger.
I made the hole bigger. I've taken the primer out of it, but what have I done? I've probably taken some primer off the metal.
Right.
So as I took the primer off the metal, and as I put that rivet in there, and then I clamped that together, I cannot say that once the water gets down and around that rivet, there would not be rust climb out of that. And that was a comment that was made, and that is a damn good comment. I never thought anything about it. But every rivet hole that I put in there and put them aluminum rivets in there and then squished it and then painted it, if you set that outside, I can guarantee you, just like he said, there would be rust climb out of that on that. So when it comes time and we're done painting this car, I am going to squirt every rivet with WD-40 or some kind of water displacement to get in around the rivet so that does not happen anytime that we're into a rain situation, because I feel like that would happen. I know it would happen, and it's just like, and how do you stop it from happening unless the car's not made out of metal? So if it was made out of aluminum, it would not do that. If it was made out of magnesium, it would not do that. Where Bad Chad has made it out of steel, we have a chance of that rust around that aluminum. Man, that car's rare. Jolene's thinking, what did you do that for? But anyways, I wasn't thinking of that when I was building it. But that's a great thing to think. You know, it is what it is. I mean, I can't do anything about it, but it is what it is. But I will go down around every rivet on this car. Let's go here for a second, on the hood. There's no way possible. People make fun of me. There's no way possible. That's one of the things I say all the time. But I cannot expect the paint from the hood to go all the way around that rivet, inside that rivet, where we have scraped off the paint with the drill bit. I cannot expect that. And you can see where I've painted that. You can see like a gap around the rivet, and there's no way possible. So when it comes outside, that would happen. So every rivet, we might have to double paint them. We might have to double paint it, or we're going to have to put some kind of water displacement on that, because we do not want that to happen, obviously. We'll see what happens. The hood, the paint looks absolutely amazing, but this situation here is why it's so expensive. It's called a Ripley's, believe it or not. Who would do that? Chad Hills. That guy. He'd do anything. All right. Go around all around the world on the stand the inside of it. We'll just do that with 400. We don't need to really do that with the 220 and get crazy. Just needs to be smooth. Me and Jolene were out there playing with the hood, and the bench fell. Didn't it, baby? Mm-hmm. Huh? The bench fell. It was like crazy. Right, we'll do that. The underside of the trunk lid will be completed when the paint work is done. We're going to have to black out. When the car is painted, there's a big job coming up. When the car is all painted, there's going to be overspray on everything. We're going to end up taping the whole car off and then blacking the inside out again. So when it's all said and done, I could black it all out before we paint it. But when I have to tape it all off before I paint it, I just don't feel like that's where I'm going. I want to do it after we paint it. We'll clean it all up and black everything out so it looks good. So I still have seam sealing to do on this trunk lid underneath. Yeah, I'm going to do it after it's painted. So what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll tape the edge off all the way around, and then I will come in here and I'll black this out, seam seal this after it's painted. Joey says, don't repeat yourself. I have to sometimes. Probably a little premature on this trunk lid, but we'll get some paint on her, baby. We'll get some paint on her. And then we'll go from there. We can always slide another coat of paint on it, but until we get the paint on it, we're not going to put it together. So we'll make sure we get the paint on it. All right, did I do that in 25 minutes?
38.
38 minutes. So now we want to put the rivet in. Oh boy, here we go. All right, let's do it. So now we're ready for paint. Joey looks at me. Yes, I want a rivet. Let's pull this out here. So that's enough time of that. Why does everything take so long? Why couldn't you just rivet that? She says. Well, let's do this. I don't feel like right here is good enough for me right this second. But you know what? The rivets are up here, so I feel like I can stand down there without hitting them. If Jolene wants to pause, I'm going to have a nervous pee, and then I'll come back and we'll do a little bit of dollying and put the rivets in the bottom of it. All right, this is what I'm thinking. We got everything ready to paint. Basically, I'm thinking feels really decent. I would put a coat of 3 coats of urethane on that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some tape on the trunk lid itself, and then I'm going to be able to run a dolly along the trunk lid. Do I have any wide stuff? Let's do this. Just put this on for a second. Let's put some tape down here on both sides. Why would we not? Just for protection. Cheap tape. Jolene bought it for me. I'll use it on her car. Right there? She don't mind. As long as it turns out good. She don't mind as long as it looks perfect. That's all she cares. It looks perfect. That's all she cares. Doesn't matter. It looks perfect. That's all it matters. So basically I'm just running this tape along here. I'm going to use my hands and all that stuff. Dollies and hammer and that stuff. I'll run that in there. Might be getting carried away. I'm not sure. Who knows? Now, what I have to figure out which way I'm putting the rivets in. That's on the top. We're going to put the rivets in this way. Okay? That makes sense? Let's do that. Look at that. See what? See that right there? What's that? She's so smart. She's so smart. All right, let's put some rivets in. Let's put a rivet in. The top ones we know we can do. And the reason being is we've got the car done. We got the hood done. We can damage that and make that work anytime. No, we're not going that way. We're going this way. All right, let's see if we can get that in there. All right, yeah, we got that in there. I'm going to have to dolly that by hand because I can't have that crimper tool. With the crimper tool, where's the crimper tool? Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Where's that bad boy? There's the crimper tool there. Cannot get down. Has not got the... I can do the top, but I can't get down to the bottom. Just will not go down far enough, and that's all there is to it. So we're going to leave that aside for a minute. We're going to grab a hammer. I'm going to grab a hammer with a nice round atmosphere on it. And then what I mean by nice round atmosphere is that one. It's got a nice round edge all the way around it. Nothing's really that sharp, just a nice edge on it. I'm going to get a dolly. And obviously, look at that now, would you? We've already... I like that. See that? Sorry? A little piece of foam taped on the back side. Just want to see what's going on here. Let's put that down like that. Let's put that over like that. Do you love me like I knew you would? Okay. I'm not really happy with that over there, but that's some of the stuff that's going to happen. Let's check it out again. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, I'm going to hit some more. Go for another one. What are you thinking, sweetheart? It can be flattened more. It can be, but is it going to look the same as the other ones? To me, that one right there is that. I don't know what else is. I can try to flatten it so it goes over there more, but in all honesty, it is what it is. Like, I feel like we're playing with a losing game on that situation. I'm going to pick this up because that's lots of money. Lots of money. I'm on the wrong side, or right side of the And we're getting the exact same thing on the dolly on this side, which is okay, I guess. Let's get back over here and do it again. I'm not hitting it very hard, but each tap is doing something. That's it, so far as I'm going. And that first one is kind of that one's way better, eh? Come look at this one. Flattened it off really nice. But that's the art of the game. I mean, I know you like that. You don't like that gap right there, do you? Come here, take a look at this. Exact same thing on this side. It's the game we're playing. Like, I mean, there's a gap, like, on that side of that rivet. There's a game we're playing, and it's called Imperfection. And that's the game we're playing, Imperfection. There's, like, I mean, that's the game I'm playing. I'm playing the game of imperfection, and I'm trying to do it the best I can. And that's all I can say that we're doing. And I think that was the name of the game when they built the car in the first place. I don't think the one from the Guild is perfect. I don't think the one from Bugatti itself is perfect. You know what? And neither am I. Like, subscribe, comment, come back. I'll have all these nailed down, and we'll have some paint on some stuff, and then we'll be on to that. Thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it, but I'm in the game of non-perfection. Love me or hate me. I'll be here tomorrow.